Everyone is calling this the best Haaland ever, but I think there's something people are ignoring. The big question is this actually an upgrade, or are we just paying for another version of the same card? After comparing him to his previous Showtime version, I think the answer is a little more complicated than most people are saying. Yes, this card is incredible, but I also don't think every player should be spending their coins chasing him. Let's start with what immediately stands out. This new Big Time Haaland is an absolute physical monster. 97 offensive awareness, 96 finishing, 95 speed, 94 acceleration, 97 kicking power, 96 physical contact, and 89 heading. Those are ridiculous striker stats. Then you add phenomenal finishing and bullet header, and you already know exactly what Konami wants this card to be. This isn't a striker that's going to dance past 4 defenders. He's built to bully center backs, attack crosses, and finish almost every chance inside the box. And honestly, that's exactly who Haaland is in real life. He's never been a technical dribbler like Mbappe or Vinicius. His biggest strengths have always been his movement, strength, explosive pace, and clinical finishing. Looking at these stats, Konami absolutely nailed that part. But here's where things start getting interesting. If you compare this card to his previous 106 Showtime Haaland, the differences aren't actually as massive as you might expect. The old card already had 96 offensive awareness, 95 finishing, 92 speed, 90 acceleration, 93 kicking power, and an incredible 98 physical contact, alongside the exact same phenomenal finishing and bullet header skills. So what exactly are you paying for? Well, the new Big Time version gets noticeable upgrades almost everywhere. Speed goes from 92 to 95. Acceleration jumps from 90 to 94. Kicking power increases from 93 to 97. Heading improves from 84 to 89. Offensive awareness goes from 96 to 97. And finishing gets a small boost from 95 to 96. Those upgrades definitely matter. The extra pace makes him much more dangerous on through balls. The higher acceleration means he'll explode into space faster than before. The improved heading combined with bullet header makes him even more dominant from crosses. And 97 kicking power means his shots are going to feel absolutely ridiculous. However, there's one stat that actually went down. His previous Showtime card had 98 physical contact, while this new Big Time version dropped slightly to 96. Now, does that ruin the card? Not at all. A difference of 2 points in physical contact is something most players probably won't even notice during normal gameplay. 96 is still elite. He'll still shrug defenders off and dominate shoulder-to-shoulder battles. The bigger issue, in my opinion, is that Konami didn't really fix Haaland's biggest weakness. His ball control is still only 82, dribbling is 83, tight possession is 80, balance is only 79. Those aren't terrible numbers. They're Haaland numbers. If you've used any version of Haaland before, you already know what this feels like. He's not the kind of striker you want dribbling through packed defenses. His first touch can sometimes feel heavy, and when defenders crowd him, he isn't nearly as smooth as players like David Villa, Romario, or even Luis Suarez. So if you're expecting this big-time version to suddenly feel silky on the ball, you're probably going to be disappointed. This card is still very much a specialist. Feed him chances, he'll score. Cross the ball, he'll score. Play through balls, he'll score. Ask him to weave through 5 defenders. That's still not his game. Now let's answer the biggest question. Is he worth your coins? If you've never owned a top-tier Haaland before, then honestly, yes. This is easily the best Haaland Konami has released. The extra pace, acceleration, heading, and kicking power make him noticeably more complete than the previous Showtime version, while keeping everything that already made Haaland one of the best finishers in eFootball. But if you already own the 106 Showtime Haaland, my answer changes. I don't think this is a must-spin upgrade. Yes, the new card is better. I don't think anyone can argue against that. But is it better enough to justify spending thousands of coins if your old Showtime Haaland is already carrying your attack? Personally, I don't think so. The improvements are real, but they're evolutionary rather than revolutionary. You're getting a faster, slightly more complete version of a player you already own, not a completely different striker. So unless you're someone who always wants the absolute best version of every player, I'd honestly save my coins. Overall, Konami has delivered exactly what most people expected. They didn't reinvent Haaland, they simply made him better. He's still a devastating fox in the box, still one of the most clinical finishers in the game, and still a nightmare for defenders once he gets into the penalty area. But he also still has the same limitations on the ball that Haaland cards have always had.